Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, taking a look at the price of MATIC, I just looked at the price of Solana. I was going to do a video within Solana, but I decided I'm just going to make a separate video, so I ended up cutting it short. So, looking at the price of MATIC, it looks very similar to that of Solana, except a few different things that we'll talk about. So, basically, I like to see this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we see an A, B, C. A, B, C, and now we're potentially in another A, B, C, right? So that would be a W, X, Y, and then we continue rocking it to the upside. So I think that's potentially what's playing here. So the issue here is, when is this wave going to be finished, right? So let's do this. A, B, C, A, B, C, and then we have an A, B. So is C finished, or is it finished here? It looks pretty short. I mean, if you look at the distance between this wave and this wave, it looks a little short. So I think potentially maybe another hit to the low, right? So then what would that be? That would be a W, X, Y. So that's what I think is happening right now with MATIC. The only issue, like I said, is the wave finished? Are we bottoming out here? It looks pretty good. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then maybe the 5 could be truncated. So it looks pretty decent to be complete. And now we have this 1, 2, and now we have another this wave here. So maybe we're in the process of a third wave, or maybe another 1, 2, which would even be even more bullish, and we can start rocking and rolling to the upside. So, but any way you look at it, I mean, comparing it to the price of Solana, we have this monster move to the upside, followed by a three-way pullback, right? So we want to see this three-way pullback complete. That's the thing. I just don't know if it's complete yet, right? We have no idea if it's complete. I want to say it potentially is, because a lot of the other coins look to be complete, but a lot of the other coins also look like they need another wave to the downside. So the idea here is, maybe this is just retracing before a move down. And what we see here is a 1, 2, 3. All of this is 4, and then 5, right? Maybe not taking out that low, or maybe it could take out the low, right? And then in which case, this could be the end of that monster wave, and we have an A, B, C, right? But since this move right here looks corrective, I'm thinking this was the end of the wave. This was A, B, C, right? So I'm thinking this is A, B, C, and that could very well be the case. And now we're like, okay, so if we have A, B, C, then it's done. Let's go. So that's what we're doing now. This is a 1, 2, and now we're getting ready to go and rocket to the moon. This is a 1, 2. We have an A, B, C, 1, 2, let's go. So that's another way. That's another way you can look at it. You draw it a little better than that. So basically, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's wave 1. That's wave 1. And then you have an A, B, C, right? A, B, C. And now you have a 1 and then a 2. So 1, 2. And and now we're ready to go into wave 3. So that would be the bullish way to look at it, is ABC 1 2 let's go. The more bearish way, I guess you would look at it, is 3 waves, and then 3 waves down again. So that would be W, X, Y, and then continue. Well, let me take everything off the screen so you can see it better. So basically 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1. Now we're in 2, and we're going to come down for 3. And that would be a W, X, Y, and then we continue rocking to the upside. So which way do you think is going to happen? Are we more bullish and we're ready to go now? Or do you think we still have more length in this bear market, right? So it's pretty hard to say. A part of me wants to say ABC 1 2 let's go. Another part of me wants to say maybe this is the top of the wave and this is A, B, and now we're into C, right? And another part of me says, okay, well, maybe this is A, B, C, and now we're in A, B, C, right? So we have 3 here, and 3 here, which would be W, X, Y. So there's like 3 different ways you can look at it. Now let's remove all of that and let's just talk about maybe some targets here. So let's say this is a wave 1 from here all the way up to here, wave 2. But the problem to me is it looks 3 wave-ish. It looks like 1, 2, 3, and that's the issue. I mean, I guess you could see that's 1, 2. Yeah, but see, the third is the shortest wave. We can't have that. So. But nonetheless, let's say this is the top of the wave. We come down here. We want to see, first of all, we want to see us get above the 618 and the 786, 137 to $1.80. If we can get above that, then we could start targeting $7 because that would be the 1618. Coming down here, probably about right there, and then getting through this area right in here. So if we can get through that, then we can target that $6 plus area, which would be a great. I mean, we're at 66 cents now, so $6. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. So yeah, it does look a lot different than Solana. It has more of the 3-wave shape, right? A, B, C, but then we have another 3-wave here, and this could potentially be 3 waves right there. It's a shallow wave, and then we're down here, so it could be done, and it could be that we're done now, and we're ready to go. The reason why I say that too is we do have 3 waves in each one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we have 1, and then this is, I guess you would say 2, and then 3. And it did take out the low, so it's good. The only issue is look how big this wave is, and then compare it to that wave, and then compare it to that wave. So the B waves are getting a lot shorter. So it starts off huge, medium, small. So you could see it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So we could very well be on our way to go. Or worst case scenario, obviously the worst case scenario would be devastating, coming down to back test this area. Like I've said before, a lot of times when price breaks out, it needs to come down and back test before marching higher. But if you look at the price of XRP had this similar type of fractal in here, and it never came down to back test. Instead, it's sort of, it's consolidating at the top rather than consolidating way down here at the bottom. So, but worst case scenario, I would say, is remove everything here. I would say this would be boom, 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 boom. So probably somewhere at the bottom of this range, maybe at the top of this little wave. You can't really see it, but maybe right in there, around the 50% of that wave, right? So if you take the wave, that's what usually we do. We take the wave, right? And then you just cut it in half. And 50% would take you probably 20 cents. I would say between 15 and 20 cents. And you say, no way, that's impossible. MATIC will never, ever, ever go down there. And, that could be very well true. It might not. But you got to always think best case scenario, worst case scenario, probable, and most likely, right? So you got to look at all these different ideas. So basically, and what that would be, right, is some type of bigger, maybe like a bigger bull flag, right? Where you have this monster wave to the upside, and then you're just basically correcting and oscillating into this bull flag before skyrocketing to the upside. And what I do like about it is, well, it doesn't really count because the problem is this wave right here took out the high. So if that wasn't the case, I would say this was 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're going down for 5, right? And that would be like some type of diag or a diagonal or some type of overlapping corrective structure where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and we're in the middle of 5, right? And we still have this retracement, retracing this wave here. We're coming up, retracing it maybe 50%, then come down, final bear market run, and then continue to the upside. So I gave a bunch of ideas, a lot of them bullish, some of them bearish. And then also what I'm looking at just right now is you could see potentially we have an inverse head and shoulders. I know it looks ugly as sin, but you could see boom, boom, and then boom. So if we start to see this, right, and then we have this move here, take that there, we can see roughly, this is just all rough, estimation, around $5 or $6. So what do you think is going to happen? Are you cautiously optimistic or, cautiously bearish? A lot of different things that can happen. MATIC is definitely more challenging than others because there's a lot more different possibilities. But that's why I don't really like it at the moment. But sometimes things that look totally bad end up, or I shouldn't say totally bad. MATIC doesn't look totally bad, but something that I wouldn't really invest in at the moment because it's so high. And the reason why I say that is if you take a Fibonacci from the bottom all the way here, we're at like 7. We're at the 786. So 78%. We're at the upper echelons of the wave. So we're at that 78% rather than coming, way down here, which would be the 38%, which is where I like to accumulate. I just did a Casper video. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But right at the moment, I'm still bullish in the short term. If we go down to let's check out the 4-hour chart. And we take a Fibonacci here. And we put it all the way down here. Right now we're at potentially the 50%. So I would like it to come up at least to the 702, probably up in here. I would like to see it come up in there before making any other judgments or anything like that. So let's see if we can continue up here. Right now it does have somewhat of a three-wave shape, but I do like this 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. So maybe something like that, and then we get a bigger ABC correction before marching higher. So plenty of options, plenty of possibilities. This channel is not to say exactly what it's going to do on this day, or it's just to give different possibilities. And there's many different possibilities. When you look at crypto, especially crypto, it does things that people don't even comprehend, right? Like one day it looks incredibly bearish. Oh, it's going to take another 2 years, and then 2 weeks later, it's like, whoa, we're incredibly bullish. Now we're ready to go again. So sentiment can flip on a dime. That's why I don't like giving predictions and things like that, because things can change in an instant, and it's like, well, who wants to deal with all that? That's why for me it's just best to just give the options, give the possibilities, and hodl. If it comes down, fine, I buy more. If it goes up, great. It's the value of my portfolio is increasing. So it's a win-win situation, right? So at the end of the day, everybody has to figure out their plan. The easy part is dollar cost averaging and buying. The hard part is trying to figure out when to sell, right? That's the hard part, is trying to figure out, okay, do I wait another 2 years potentially for this retracement to occur and then come back down? Or do I just continue to hold and add to my position, right? So sometimes people end up selling and then they buy back in later, and sometimes they do it and they successfully do it. Other times, like a lot of people got wrong-footed on Bitcoin. When Bitcoin was down in the 20,000 and below, I was saying we're going to reverse. This looks like a big reversal. We've had 5 waves to the downside. We have divergence from the 4th and the 5th. We have this sort of impulse off the bottom. We have this 3-wave pullback. It looks good. It looks good. People say, no, we're going down to 13K, 14K, 12K, 9K. And I said, that's true. We could definitely do that. But I think at first we need a retracement. We need to retrace. So like I've always said, anytime you have a wave, so this is your wave, waves just don't keep going down. What they need to do in order to continue to go down is they need to come up and retracement. Look at it like a basketball. The basketball's falling. It hits the floor, it comes back up, and then it continues going down, right? So here's your wave, here's your retracement, and then we continue down. Or if we get above the retracement, we consolidate in the retracement, then we continue higher. So everything, all the magic, all the decisions, all the emotions come in right at the retracement levels. So that's what we're seeing now. We're starting to see the wave enter its retracement levels. That's why I'm not really excited to buy at this very second, because it still needs to prove to me that it can get through those retracement levels. And even if it did, I'm not buying, because I'm in other assets, right? I don't own MATIC right now. I don't own Solana, the 2 videos that I did today. I do own Casper, right? I'm actually, I can't believe I'm doing 3 videos today. So the first one was Casper, the second one Solana, and now the third one is MATIC. And MATIC and Solana, those were the 2 best performers last bull run, but I just missed it. I missed it, and since it went up astronomically in such a short period of time, I don't feel comfortable putting a lot of money into it. I maybe a couple spending dollars, right? You can throw in there, but nothing significant, because it went up so much. And then someone can say, well, yeah, but it's going to go up even further. And that could very well be the case. But that's why I'm more heavily positioned in other assets, specifically XRP. I think that one, in my opinion, not financial advice, is going to be the #1 performer. And the reason why is because it never did what MATIC did, right? MATIC had a monster move. Solana had a monster move. And during those monster moves, XRP was in a retracement. So what follows a retracement is accumulation, reaccumulation, ranging, consolidation. And then what happens after that? Blast off, right? So we have that ABC, and then boom, we skyrocket. So for MATIC and Solana, we already accelerated massively to the upside, and we didn't have enough time to elapse for me to be bullish on it, right? So for example, XRP was consolidating from January of 2018 till today. It hasn't broken its all-time high. That's years. That's what, 5 years? Let's see, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, going on 6 years, guys. It's been in this monster range. That's why I feel more comfortable putting money into that, because like I said, it's the equivalent of Bitcoin being at, 10K. If Bitcoin was at 10K, wouldn't you buy it? Absolutely. So that's the assets I'm looking. And then, for example, another asset is Casper. Casper is at, the bottom. There's not a lot of data to go off of it, but that's where faith and conviction and utility come in, things like that. And then also looking at XLM, and of course Theta. You could say, well, Theta did something similar to what MATIC did, but Theta retraced a lot deeper than Solana and MATIC, and from what it looks like, right? Theta topped out at what, $15-16, and now it's like 66 cents, 70 cents, 75 cents. I mean, to me, that's a no-brainer. But anyway, this video is just going to continue ranting on, take everything off the screen, look at it. Let's look at it from a monthly perspective. Monthly perspective here. Sorry if you hear the TV on the background. My son is watching it. He's not even 2 years old yet, so and he's already looking at charts with me. Gotta train him young, right? So looking at it from a monthly perspective, it does look bullish, because you could see you have this impulse to the upside, and then you're sort of flagging out right here, right? You're flagging out right here. And if I take this to here, this would be the ultimate target. I think probably right there. About $15. So, it's 65 cents. And the thing is MATIC is a relatively high market cap. So in order to get to that $15 mark, it needs to be even more incredibly high. So, looking at that as well. But yeah, monthly chart does look bullish. Now, monthly charts are looking at the macro, looking at the higher time frames, and you can see, look at all these red candles in a row, and it looks all corrective to me, which is a good thing, right? Impulse, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? We have a 3-wave move, impulse, and then we can get ready to continue rocking it to the upside. So are we retracing and then coming down and then going up, or are we going up now? That's what we have to see. And then looking at the monthly chart, it looks definitely bullish, like we're getting primed and ready to go. So thank you guys for watching the video. That will be it for today. Maybe I might throw another video out later. Let's see what the price action does. But we had the Fed speak today, and obviously they liked what they heard. So let's see if we can continue the bullish momentum. We're starting to head into the end of the week, and especially the weekend. Usually the weekends we start to sell off a little bit. So I would personally, I'm gonna be waiting to see if there's any good pullbacks or good entries, and let's keep the trend going up. And until next time, we'll see you.